Today's question is, should you trade or should you invest and hold long-term in the markets? Today, I'm gonna be giving you 8 advantages of being a long-term investor and being a holder. Welcome back, monetizers. Mariah Monetize here, and I am super excited for today's video because this is something that I personally was conflicted with for a very long period of time. And for the most part, I have finally come to a conclusion, and I'm excited to be sharing that with you today. When I made my very first purchase of Bitcoin back in 2015, I saw a massive opportunity in the markets. Sure, I saw an asset, rise 100% frequently, but then I saw the opportunity in between, and I would calculate, hey, if I caught that high and I caught that low, there was so much opportunity in between along the way to get a much higher return than 100% in some scenarios. So for months and months and even years, I tried to learn technical analysis, something that I tried to expand my knowledge on each and every day. But I came to this certain conclusion that I wanted to share with you today. And after watching this video, I think that you might have a better idea of what the opportunity is and what's at hand, and make the right decision for your particular situation. First, today, I'm gonna be going over the certain things that you need to do to put yourself in a position to be a successful trader. There's a lot more reasons than the ones that I'm gonna be giving today, but I think these are the most important and honestly the ones that first come to mind. If I made a video about all the things that you had to do to put yourself in the right position to be a successful trader, it could take us an hour. So here are the ones that I believe are the most important. The first thing is you need the time. You need 5 days a week for the entire duration of the trading market. And for those that want to trade Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, it's 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So if you're someone that has a full-time job, 9 to 5, it's gonna be really hard to be there and present for the entire duration of market hours. Trust me, I've tried to, some days trade and some days not trade, but I think there's a lot of things that happen in the period of time that you're away that make it really challenging to make the right decisions when you return back to your computer. You also need money to lose. You're not special. You're not the exception. Everyone that attempts to trade is going to lose money, and you're gonna lose a lot of it in the beginning especially. You need years in order to be profitable consistently and make this your full-time gig. It will take years to become an expert. I know people that have been trading for decades and they still don't even consider themselves an expert. They still consider themselves actually students of the game itself. You also need emotional intelligence. You need to have the ability to take your emotions out of the game. The best traders are the ones that can separate their emotions. And many people find this very, very challenging, and that's why the majority of people lose when they attempt to become a trader. You have to be open to the idea that your social life is probably going to be on hold. In my opinion, to be a successful trader, those beginning times, you really have to live and breathe the charts. You obviously also need capital, and you need money management skills. It's really easy to enter the game with, let's say, $10,000, and if you don't have those money management skills or a plan in place when you go ahead and start your trading, you can easily lose it all very quickly. So let's look at the other hand. Some people consider Warren Buffett to be the most successful investor of all time. You gotta remember that trading and investing are two very different things. You could think of Warren Buffett as a long-term investor. He does not trade, and you could say he's a hodler. I'm not really sure if they use the hodl term in other markets, but I know for sure they use it in Bitcoin, but we all know that Warren Buffett is probably not having anything to do with Bitcoin. He has many, many times talked negatively about Bitcoin, but let's not forget there are many massive opportunities he has missed with other stocks, including Amazon. So of course he's very intelligent and we respect him, but we have to remember that he is not always 100% correct. Nobody is. So one of Warren Buffett's favorite books is titled Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. So these are some words that Warren Buffett has lived by over the years. Straight from the book. Purchasing stocks at a price below their intrinsic value, then holding them until their price reflects the real value of the company. So this is a strategy that Warren Buffett has put into place over the years. So first I gave you the side of what it takes, just a handful of things, what it takes to become a successful trader. So me personally, I've realized over time that I am not that person. I do not want to be a trader. There are many reasons why. I'm gonna go ahead and get into 8 reasons why. Some of these I experienced myself that are some of the main factors and reasons why I made the decision I did to become more an investor long term. And I think you can consider a lot of these and really ask yourself the question of which category you fall into and which one you believe you will be most successful at. So here are 8 advantages of holding your stock, your cryptocurrency long term. First is there's less probability that you're gonna miss out on the massive gains. Let me give you an example. If I was trying to trade Ethereum, when I bought it at $7, it would have been really easy to sell it once it hit 20, 30, 50, 60. I had a lot of people actually in that period of time telling me you made a massive profit, you should probably sell. Looking back, I'm really glad that I didn't listen, because if I would have tried to trade Ethereum specifically, I don't think I would have traded it successfully, and I don't think I would have been able to make as much as I did and profit as much as I did if I would have tried to buy and sell along the way. It would have been really challenging. Instead, I sold the majority of my Ethereum, the $400 range, which ultimately wasn't the best decision either, as it approached $1,400, but if I would have tried to trade it along the way, I think I would have made even less profit. The number 2 advantage of holding is you get to spend time with the people that you love. This has become more and more important to me over time as I get older. The advantage and the luxury and the freedom of getting to spend more time with the people that you love. For me personally, that's highly important, and I know that if I was head deep into trading constantly, I wouldn't have the mental space or the ability to be fully present with the people that I care about most and want to be present with. I believe that it is very easy for trading to take a toll on your personal relationships. Obviously, this doesn't happen for everyone, but it's very possible that that can happen to somebody. The number 3 advantage is that you're less stressed. You know that your positions, your holdings are gonna go up and down, but you're not interested in trying to catch those tops and bottoms along the way. You know that you're in it for the long haul. And along with that, there's less opportunity for you to get frustrated and highly emotional, because once you buy that particular stock or crypto and you plan on holding it for long term, you know that it's going to go up and down. That is something that you already told yourself, and you have no plans to sell it along the way. So it takes out the emotional side and it takes out a lot of the frustration, and there's less probability that you panic sell ultimately. Number 4, you put yourself in a position to gain dividends and ultimately compound your gains over time. So if you're trading these certain companies and it puts you in a position to maybe you're not holding that particular stock when the dividends are paid out, so you're missing out on that opportunity. Number 5, and one of my all-time favorites, is you're minimizing your tax responsibility. So if you hold something short-term, a short-term gain is if you've held a stock or some kind of crypto for less than 1 year. And it depends on exactly which tax bracket you're in on what you're gonna get taxed, but it goes down as ordinary income. You can get taxed up to 39% on that short-term gain. But what happens is if you hold something for longer than a year, it is considered long-term capital gains, and that brings down your tax liability to 20%, which is a massive difference and a massive savings. For those in Puerto Rico that have the Act 22 decree, you are the lucky ones, including myself, and no matter if it's a short-term or long-term gain, we are taxed at 0%. Of course, our tax liability for the year is making a $5,000 donation to a Puerto Rican charity. And if you want to learn more about the tax incentives here in Puerto Rico, go ahead and leave a comment below. The number 6 advantage of holding long-term is there's less risk in timing the top and the bottom. There's less risk in timing the entry and the exit. For most people that are gonna hold long-term, they're gonna be dollar cost averaging in. They're going to be adding on the dips. And so when you put yourself in that position and you're not trying to catch the top or the bottom, that really lessens your risk. Number 7, one of my favorites, you'll sleep better at night. I love my sleep. I feel like a better human when I sleep. I used to be on team, I'll sleep when I'm dead, and I 100% changed my views on sleep. It's something I take so seriously because I've seen myself when I don't get much sleep. Scary, disgusting, you don't want to see that side of me. And I know myself when I am fully rested. I'm like the best version of myself. So that is absolutely one of my favorite things. When I was trying to trade Bitcoin, I could wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning and I couldn't help but always look at my phone and check the price of Bitcoin and see where my different cryptos were currently at in the market. And once that happened, I just couldn't go back to sleep. My brain was just turned on and there was no returning from that state. Number 8 is, it's the easier route. You're not married to the charts, you take the emotions out of it. I think there's a ton of advantages when it comes to just holding long term. At the end of this, what I can say is that the majority of my positions I hold long term. Sometimes I purchase a higher risk crypto or stock and I understand that it's very volatile and very risky. So I'll go ahead and put a stop loss on it, or I'll sometimes sell when I'm slightly in the profit. But for me, the majority of my holdings are long-term investments. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. And as always, go out there and create a portfolio that you love.